couple of months ago, and I said that I would get him on the show, and I made sure I wanted to do that. Shout out to Camden Williams, also on man HRAB. Thank you for coming through. Also, if you have any questions, you can put those in the chat room. But let's bring in Mari. How's it going?
Hey, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Yeah, hey. It's Cabell.
Cabell, excuse me. Cabell.
It's all right.
So,
How you
Amarrai
been, man?
Cabell. Good, man. How about you?
I'm doing good.
Good, man. The album cover, which we'll get to that in a minute, I think is amazing. But talk about how'd you get into music? Has that always been a passion of yours?
Yeah, when I was little, I used to when I lived in Minnesota, around the block was a library that had CDs, and I would go there just to listen to music. And I discovered I wasn't thinking anything of it, but it was a cover with a bear on it, and I started listening to Kanye. And ever since I started listening to Kanye and like listening to Lil Wayne when I was in my aunt's car in Minnesota, and then I came back um, towards Illinois, and then I was listening. My grandma put me on the Michael Jackson, and I was always like kind of inspired by, you know, those. I was like, that's cool, you know.
Yeah. So how would you describe your music? What genre would you say your music is in?
I'm like alternative. I'm like any indie pop, like,
Okay.
you know. But I don't like to be held down to one genre, like. But
Yeah.
I'd say I'm like indie pop.
Okay. All right. And I respect that, because I mean, you want to be able to flow into different genres, which I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how long have you been doing music?
Well, I started songwriting in middle school, and then I started making like recording and like my freshman year in high school, and then so it's been some years now.
Yeah, and it's kind of grown from there. So, how many projects do you have out?
I have a mixtape which is Kids Have Fun, and then an album which is called Denver. So I have two out now.
Nice. And so, what's the process you go through? Writing songs, and getting the instrumental and the music together.
Um, I sit in my room and I produce beats on my computer, and then um, with the quarantine, it's been hard to get inspired to songwrite, but I write all my stuff, and then if I'm not inspired, I watch TV or play video games until I am, and then come back around to it, and listen to older music, like listen to other artists. Um, I like watching Game of Thrones and like older TV shows and stuff too. I like watching older stuff for nostalgia, like stuff I watched when I grew up and stuff. But yeah, you know, I'll sit in my room and sometimes I'll take a break if I can't come up with anything, but I just sit
Yeah,
in my room.
nice. All right. And I know, you brought up Michael Jackson. That's one of my favorite artists, man. His creativity and the way he was able to make music, and then when he performed, I mean, if you've seen videos, people passing out, and people, they're just so starstruck that it's almost hard for them to handle being around him. And so, yeah, I mean, music is one of my passions that I love listening to it. I don't make it, but I always love to hear how the recording process is, and how you make the music. But yeah, with COVID, how has that affected what you're able to do? Are you still able to a certain degree kind of do what you enjoy doing?
Yeah, yeah, to a degree, yeah. Like I will send something over to my managers, Cameron and Aline, and then because they like to be updated, I'll send them a private link to listen. And it's hard. It makes it harder to collaborate. But then what I'll do is I'll send artists, something. I'll be like, well, just send this back because I like to collaborate with artists in person. I will say that much.
Yeah,
But um, like it's made it harder because you can't really go to the studio and stuff like that as much. But I like working from home though. so I'm cool with it.
Yeah, cool. I mean, and you're forced, now pretty much to, to work from home. So I definitely get that. Now with the new single featuring Willow Smith, am I correct?
Yeah, and Elise, yeah.
Nice. I mean, how did that come about?
Yeah, well, I was sitting there. I didn't put her in the background vocals till the last minute. I told Aline that before our meeting I was going to put her on the background vocals, and I really didn't think anything of it, much of it, um, at the time. But I like how it sounds, like how it came out, and I
Nice.
think that people are going to like the single on Valentine's Day a lot.
Yeah, that's a perfect time to drop a song, especially if it's it. Now, how would you describe the song? Is it a love song? Is it a how would you describe
It's kind of hard to describe. It's um yeah, I don't know. You know, it's got a good vibe to it though.
it? Yeah,
It's got a good vibe to it for sure. Yeah, it's not like R&B, but it's got a good vibe to it.
yeah, and if you I mean, and that's what a lot of people are looking for. At the it's a lot. It's depressing times for a lot of people, so they need something to give them that good vibe and that that good feeling. So very nice. Now, what would be the artist the I guess the artist that you most want to work with, and then maybe a producer that you would most want to work with?
Oh, I like that question. Well, artist I would most want to work with, would probably be Frank Ocean,
Mm,
um, and producer Benny Blanco.
okay. And man, Frank, I didn't really know a lot about him until I seen him on. He was on Saturday Night Live one time, and
Oh
man,
yeah,
I
that
was like,
was
that. Like, I
yes.
still go back and watch that video, and that was
Yeah,
probably
me too.
a
Yeah, I
couple
love
years
his
ago.
SNL.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that was pretty dope.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's a good artist.
yeah. He's you see that he puts like the work in, and he has that passion in music. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's definitely one of my favorites. So being an artist, what are some of the challenges? So what are the highs and some of the highs and some of the lows that sometimes people may not see, or the outside looking in?
Um, well, it's a lot of things, and it's tough. You know, I've fallen out with, you know, some people that I've collaborated with just will ghost you, and I feel like a little bit that has to do with the quarantine, and then you'll fall out with friends because your music is doing well, or they just, you know,
Peyton.
but yeah, so it's like it's tough, but you just have to keep going and keep it moving and try to keep good people around you for sure.
Yeah, and then that's a lot of times you watch, people watch any type of music show or documentary. It's always like the people that you have around you, because some people may just be like yes man, just to tell you yes, but you need those people that can give you that constructive criticism. But there's a borderline, between constructive criticism and just plain hating. So that's I know some things that you gotta consider, and it's definitely in the music industry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So with the single coming out on Valentine's Day, is there plans for an EP or an album kind of coming up after that?
Yes, there is. Yes, yes,
Nice.
there is. Yes, me and Aline have talked about it a lot, and it's been delayed multiple times because of the pandemic. But I've been in the studio working on it a lot and working with. I like the artists that I'm working with on this album, and then so it's been coming together nicely. I can't wait for people to hear it. But we don't have a certain release date right now. But after Male Privilege comes out, everything should be better then.
Nice. Nice. I'm looking forward to that. So what would you say to, an artist coming up, or somebody that's young and they're wanting to get into this industry, or they want to make music? what are some tips that you could give them or encourage them with?
Have thick skin. Treat everyone well, because you don't know, the same people you could be mean to. You never know who has connections. It's a small industry, and you could see those people on the way down. And really, just network. Just always be willing to network, and just always just be unlucky. Just work hard, and just try to stay humble, and you should do well.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, are you? I guess when COVID's over or before COVID, were you performing? Is that something? Is that a part of what you do? Do you perform at different areas and places?
I hadn't performed yet, but we were working on a tour, and then we had to cancel.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of tough because we don't know what's going on with venues, and yeah, we still don't know the situation with that. Everything. Well, I've performed at a couple of radio stations as of right now, but right now I don't know the situation with tours, so I can't promise anything with that.
Yeah. So what's in if you got an iPhone, what's in your Apple Music right now? What are you listening to that you love listening to at this current time?
Yeah, I'm gonna look right now. I have been listening this morning. I listened to Midnight Sisters' "Painting the Roses" album that came out today. It came out yesterday. I mean, my bad. And then I've been listening to Frank Ocean, and then RX Poppy. He's a smaller artist. And then listen to some Little Baby, Glob's new single. I listen to a lot of underground stuff.
Yeah.
I listened to Sis 99's new album, Amir Van's new single. Slow Tie has a new song with A$AP Rocky that came out a few weeks ago called Maza. And then, but yeah, pretty much just. Also, Zayn's new album is incredible.
Nice. Yeah, and Apple Music, man, I think that's one of the best platforms, because obviously you pay a limited amount of money, and you can listen to whatever you want, put it in your playlist. And I found plenty of artists that I didn't even know existed just by pulling it up. There was one, I can't remember. I think it was called Village. It's called something Village. I have to look it up and see. But it's kind of like a Fugees vibe. I don't know if you heard of the Fugees, but
I like the Fugees.
It's they're. I'm gonna have to look it up and I'll let everybody know. But it's a group where it's a female and two guys. So the two guys are obviously kind of the rappers, but the female does the vocals, the singing, but also she can rap too. And when I found that, I was like, man, this is like a hidden gem. I didn't even know it existed. And I think that's the great thing about music, man. It doesn't have to be the big guy or the big artist. It could be the underground cats, because they could be putting out just as good music as everybody else.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I listen to a lot of small artists that are just as good as big artists every day. Yeah, and discover them. So yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Well, man, thank you for coming on tonight.
No problem.
Anything else you want to share with the listeners before you
go? Is there? I just hope everyone's well. Everyone's taking care of their mental health, and I hope everyone's good at home. Listening.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Yeah, like the mental health. I think a lot of times we overlook it. We don't think it's, I'll be fine, or I'm okay. But a lot of times we overlook that, and we just allow that to go to the wayside, and that's not fair to ourselves. So that's a great point you brought up.
Yep.
All right.
And
so
who you got in Super Bowl?
Oh, nice. Oh yeah. Let's do a little sports talk before you go. Yeah. I gotta go with the Chiefs, man.
It's gonna be a close. I can never root against Brady. I just can't go against him. So I don't bet against Tom Brady. That's one thing I'm never gonna do.
Yeah. I got into a little back and forth with a guy, and I was like, man, Tom threw 3 picks in that championship game, or maybe it was the game before. But yeah, you're right. Now Mahomes is the young. I don't know if you've seen this image, but it was like a goat standing next to a baby goat, and that's what Mahomes is. He's on the cusp of becoming, or he's already great, but he's on the cusp of reaching Tom Brady type status if he can take down, the Bucks.
Yeah, for sure. It's like just before I caught on, I started watching this at 9, and just before that, Stafford got traded to the Rams.
I
thought
did.
That was interesting.
So did they swap? Because I haven't. I'm trying to look at it.
I believe it was 2 firsts and Jared Goff.
2 firsts and Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's maybe a little high. But Stafford wanted to get out of there, so I knew they were going to do. So I knew they were going to do something. I didn't know what exactly they were going to do, but honestly, neither one of them are. I don't think neither one of them are going to win a Super Bowl with them. So I mean, like, I get it. You got to make a deal, but
yeah. I like Stafford though. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, I agree. So what's your NFL team? What's your teams? Period. NFL.
I mean, you might not like the answer, but I'm a Patriots fan. Sadly.
Were you always a Patriots fan?
Yeah, sad. I mean, I just like the Patriots growing up. I was just always like, I don't know why my family hates them so much. I think they're a decent team, and
And now, now having Tom, they're in a whole new level now. I mean, like they're used to just having Tom Brady, and now, you got Cam. It sounds like Cam's not going to be there. To next year. So who do you think they're going to draft somebody or get a free agent?
I don't think we're going to land like Watson or anything. I think that Mac Jones would be the best fit for the Patriots.
I've heard that, and I think so too. He's experienced. He's a senior, so he's been there at Alabama for a while. He could probably come in and manage, the system, not make mistakes, and obviously he can make the throws. In that national championship game, the amount of times he was throwing it downfield, you got to give him his props there.
Yep.
So what about NBA and baseball?
Celtics, and I like the Cardinals and baseball. Just kind of keep it on.
All right, so you're Boston, almost.
Yeah. Most of my teams are all Boston. I like the Bruins in hockey.
And the Celtics should do something this year, but I don't know. This East, especially with the Nets, may be a little interesting.
We just lost to the Lakers before I got on here, so that was a bit rough.
Yeah. All right, so let everyone know where they can find the music, a website.
Yes. You just look up AmarraiCabell.com, and then r/Amarrai Cabell is my subreddit, and my SoundCloud is my name. Pretty much everything. Just Google my name. Like just search Amarrai Cabell in the search engine on streaming services.
Okay,
for sure.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna put the website in the chat room so people can click on that, have access to it. It's got the countdown for male privilege, once again featuring Willow Smith. I think that's dope. So I'm looking forward to that. 14 days counting down. Thanks. So yeah, man. Thank you for being patient. I know we were going to do this a couple of weeks ago, but glad we were able to make it happen.
Yes, me too. Anytime, man. Anytime.
All right.
Anytime, man.
All right. Take care.
All right. You too, man. Bye.
All right. Bye.